It was 1935, the year that Elvis and Sandy Koufax were born. It was a year of many firsts, including the first NFL draft, the first Monopoly board game went on sale, Social Security began, and Babe Ruth hit his last home run. In addition to these milestones, the National Junior Challenge Cup was founded in 1935, offering a youth competition for young men in the United States. The cup was later named the James P. McGuire Cup, after the late U.S. soccer president, who himself was quite a standout in his earlier days, winning the U.S. Open Cup in 1929. McGuire would lead U.S. soccer and earn an international reputation as an excellent leader.
The Jim McGuire Cup was started in 1935. It was the only cup that the United States Soccer Federation had for youth players. And it was a very good competition, and I can tell you, I mean, this was the highlight of my soccer career, to be a champion in 1954.
This storied cup, now the oldest trophy in youth sport.
It has a history, it has a meaning, I think it has tradition. So I think it's extremely important for our competitions, for all the age groups, that kind of emulate the McGuire Cup.
Winning the McGuire Cup is huge, just because all that history that comes along with the oldest trophy in youth sports period, that's really big for us.
Who will write their name in the next chapter of the storied McGuire Cup?
This tournament, it's great competition. I mean, you just have to work. All these teams belong here. All these teams work to get here.
So the competition was fantastic from start to finish, and when you get to play in a facility like this, it makes it even more worthwhile traveling the 6.5 hours to get here.
We sacrificed a lot, time, and like our summer. So I really think that if we keep with that, we'll be on pace for a great time at Nationals.
Just an overall great performance. Came out in the second half, was able to close it out and get that regional victory that we wanted.
Benefits of this level are huge. The college exposures, second to none for these guys. They're all able to get recruited and achieve the goals that they want to when they set out to actually sign up to play club sports and make a team. They're able to get those opportunities.
I think having something to play for is a real benefit to these goals, not just showcases, it's competition. Everyone wants to win. You play competitive sports because you want to win.
this is the top league in the country, all the best teams, the best competition, and that's what you want for your kids. You know, you want them to work hard and achieve success against the best, so it should be exciting.
Boy, they were tough. They were a tough team, and they had a lot of speed. And so we weren't ready for that, and they kept fighting and kept fighting and kept fighting. We made a few mistakes in the back, and then they came back and tied it up, you know, with 7-8 minutes left in the game. But it was a battle. They are a very strong, competitive team. It's a sweet victory because they really deserve it. The girls were tired. They were weak, and they dug really deep. They really did. They really fought for it.
Everyone wants it so bad that we all get better from each other. No matter the win or the loss, we all want it. It's the best feeling. I've dreamed about this for a long time. It's so exciting to be here.
Very tough game. We had to go into extra time to decide the champion, and our boys stuck it to the end, and were able to come out with a victory today.
It's just an amazing feeling knowing you scored the winning goal for the team. We worked so hard for this, and we all deserve this.
Regionals is where you find the best state champions come, and they give you a run for your money.
I think soccer in a whole creates a family. The bake sales, the car washes, the raising of money, it brings all of us together, and we are one, and on to nationals.
US Youth Soccer has impacted my life by taking over, and I mean, it's been a very good experience. A lot of life skills and lessons and how to take on certain things, and it's really made a big impact on my life.
Hey, everybody here was amazing.
Played against some amazing girls, and I just think it was awesome.
It's really great to see my team pull together to really work hard.
Being a regional champion is amazing. It's a once in a lifetime type of opportunity for these guys, for myself.
I'm really excited for these girls with this confidence to go to nationals and just test ourselves against great competition. We're going to nationals!
My name is Tony McManus. We are the 01 Lady Lobos Rush out of Memphis, Tennessee. You know, we were here in the finals last year. Unfortunately, did not finish it out, but that gave us a little bit of motivation going into this year.
It's been crazy, and it's just been like really hard because everybody here is so good, and everybody is good because they win their state cup, and so there are other ways to get in, and so it's been really difficult. But we pushed through it, and we were able to come out on top.
For us, it's a little difficult because we work with a lot of underprivileged kids, kids that can't afford to really play at big clubs. So we're very small. We haven't been around very long. We put in a lot of work with the kids. We pick them up. We've been working with these guys, just try to give them a future, something to look forward to, get them out the streets, put them in a place where they can come and just have fun, meet other kids, and train hard, and just give them a goal, whether it's college or to the next level. So we've been very successful at doing that at this level. So it's been a great process.
We made it to nationals, and that was amazing because we were one of the best. I think at the time it was 4 teams. It was a round robin, actually. So it was the best 4 teams in the whole nation, and so we thought we were just the next best thing since sliced bread. And I think that playing in that tournament was so surreal because you played against other club teams that were so good and at the same level as you that you don't necessarily always get the chance or opportunity to play against, which was so great for us because we were like, wow, these girls are like just as good as us, if not better, and we have to compete at the highest level and play these 3 games, or at that, it was a round robin, so we played the 4. But still, that just reminds me of how competitive I was and my teammates were at that age, which also I think helped me get to the next level. And being that competitive at the club level, I mean, has only helped me, continue to grow in my competitive spirit and level that I'm playing at right now.
The national championships was really, really special. I think that was like the biggest thing I had really won, and that's kind of for youth soccer growing up, that was kind of the ultimate prize. And I think we were always super ambitious in achieving that and to have that happen. And I think what's so special about youth soccer is that it's really your family. The girls that you grow up with become like your sisters, and you do everything, and there's just like such a strong camaraderie there. So to play with a team that you've played for a while with, and with these girls, it's a very special feeling to win something like that.
Those were really great moments because at such a young age, I feel like I was competing for something and really working hard to, perform for my team. And it was no longer just about, whatever the result is the result. I mean, at the end of the day, you win some, you lose some. But that was probably the moments that I was like, whoa, we got to win. We got a state championship on our hands that we could actually bring home. And I think those are really cool moments because, you remember a lot of the times that you win. You try to remember the losses as well because you do learn from them. But at the same time, you want to remember the wins that you have. So state championships were definitely a really important part of my memory.
Our state cup was fun. My team was very competitive. I mean, we had a lot of competition as well, but I can't remember how many we won. Maybe 9, I think, is what we counted with our team, which made it so much fun. That was always like the big goal at the end is win state cup, go to regionals, and go to nationals. And we always fell short going to nationals, which still hurts today to even talk about. But I had so much fun in those tournaments, and my team made it even 10 times better to be a part of.
I get to play now in front of huge crowds and with all this spotlight and attention, and I don't think I'll ever have that feeling that I did going through my U14 national championship. I remember winning state cup. I can tell you how I scored, what the score was. I remember going to Hawaii. That was our regionals, Region 4, and I remember that national championship. And I think that it stays with me so much because it was about camaraderie. It was about growing and learning who you were and, making these lifelong bonds.
Not sure if we're live or not, or not sure if we're live or not, or.
Holy crap, I have to pee.
I'm gonna start.
Oh, hey. Okay, he said, like, time I go to the bathroom, locked it.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships here in Overland Park, Kansas. And this morning we are starting things off with an under-17 boys matchup between Washington Premier and Coral Estate Strikers, representing the states of Washington and Florida, respectively. Hello, I'm your commentator for today, Josh McGee, and this is a really exciting time for these teams. Months of hard work and preparation has led to this moment. We'll start off here in group play for the first initial 3 days, and then, of course, working our way towards the semifinals and finals matchups across all ages and genders here this weekend. Both these teams had a tough road to get here. Washington Premier picked up 7 points in their 3 matches in Las Vegas to win the Under-17 Black Division title in the U.S. Youth Soccer National League. For Coral State Strikers, they represent the Southern Regional after losing in the final 6-1 OKC Energy FC, who went on to represent the National League. Both these teams are very experienced, very attack-minded, And, of course, obviously here in the early morning, while we don't have to deal with the heat as much, both these teams obviously must be tired traveling in from both states. We're going to kick things off here. Washington Premier advancing to the top of the box. The shot on goal is blocked. And eventually cleared by Coral Estates. That was number 9 for Washington Premier, Brandon Pryor with the shot. Strikers now controlling things in possession in their half of the field. Great run there on the far side. He's on sides there, number 14 for Coral State Strikers. In on net. Cross partially blocked and shot. It's in, and it's a goal early in the match for Coral State Strikers. Excellently worked down here on the near flank. The initial cross was blocked by Washington Premier, but the ball would eventually find the back of the net. We'll get the number and name here in a second for Coral States, but a huge goal for the side early on here in the match. And, of course, as we are in group play, it's an important goal as we continue to go on. I believe that was number 8 for Coral Estates, and that would be Emiliano Sosa. Washington Premier hoping to get back underway here and equalize the match. But Coral States, once again, with open possession here, loads of space here down the middle of the field. And once again, they will try to attack this near flank. Coral States eventually turns things over in possession as Washington now looks to break. They attempted to work things down that far side, and it will go out for a throw-in. Once again, an excellent start for Coach Rios' side. Team from Miami, Florida originally. Of course, like we said, early on in this match, important to get that goal and put the pressure on early in this first match of the national championships. Washington Premier now working things down that far side of the field. That'd be through number 2. If I can't see, I'll get that name correctly. As a long throw is now in by Washington Premier, eventually cleared by Coral Estates. Good block there by Premier, as now they'll look to get across into the box. Great stop there by the goalkeeper for the Estate Strikers, and eventually cleared. That'd be number 0, Andres Rodriguez there, helping his team out. That cross is eventually cleared. Throw in here taken in by number 12, Alexander Koop. But Premier definitely having trouble there in the midfield, holding on to possession as the Strikers continue to press and win the ball back here in the midfield. Now they will look to break once again down this far flank. Premier able to get things out in control. We'll now here to look through, working through number 7 of Premier, but eventually goes out here for a State Strikers throw-in. The head coaches for both sides, the head coach of Washington Premier, Jason Prenevos, has 20-plus years of coaching experience and led his team at the under-16 level to the National League Champions. His son Connor is also on the team. Has to be a proud moment for many fathers here at this tournament. Of course, as I've already mentioned, Diego Rios, the head coach of the Coral State Strikers. Premier trying to hold possession here and get up the field. Great run here down the far flank as members of Washington Premier continue to get forward. Great through ball here into number 2, who looked playing a good cross. In the box, a great save there by Rodriguez of the Strikers. Point blank shot there by, I believe, once again, Braden Pryor of Washington Premier, the tall striker there in the middle. Best opportunity for them, but still the score remains 1-0. Once again, the Strikers looking to work this far flank, and it's collected here in possession. A 2-on-4 situation, and eventually Premier able to use the man advantage to regain possession. Ball played up towards Pryor, but eventually cleared by number 24 of the Estates, Mikel Rodriguez. but Premier slowly growing into the game after conceding the early goal. It's standard times here for this division of boys soccer, 2 45-minute halves. And we will not be going to extra time today. If the game ends in a draw, it ends in a draw, and both teams will pick up a point in group play. Ball's collected here in the strikers' half by Premier as they look here to work this near flank. Ball played in towards the box, but eventually cleared by the strikers. But collected here on the far flank by Premier. Left-footed shot from outside the box is blocked, and it'll be a handball called by the official just outside of the 18-yard box. An excellent opportunity here for Washington to search for the equalizer. First set piece opportunity, for either side. And a multitude of Premier players are looking to go over the ball. One of which I see over the ball is number 88, Keegan York. Also around the ball, number 3, Logan Oyama, and number 10, Anthony Valdovinos, who looks as though he might be setting up for a left-footed shot. He runs over the ball, and it's York who shuts it near post, but another great save there by Rodriguez to keep Washington Premier off the board. Rodriguez boots it up the field, only one Strikers player to aim for, but they recollect possession here in their own half. Premier working it here along the back line, looking to play a ball up towards Pryor. Once again cleared and collected by the Strikers. Strikers continue to press and win the ball up the field, and they will look to break here. Excellent tackle there in the midfield by Premier League player. That was number 12, Alexander Coop, on the tackle, but the Strikers pushing here towards the far corner, but Premier able to deal with the danger. A near turnover there in possession, but eventually collected by Premier League goalkeeper. Again, this is the opening match of the under-17 boys division here at the National Championships. Both teams will get 3 matches here in group play, obviously with the top 2 teams advancing towards the semifinals. Again, every team here at the National Championships has been playing months and months worth of matches in their state cups, their regional tournaments, and in the National League. Have been working all up to this moment for a chance at a national championship at their level. Premier eventually able to knock it off of a Strikers player for another throw-in. Best chances have seemingly come from that side of the field so far for Washington Premier as they get in here to the box towards Pryor. Cross into the box, dealt with initially here by Rodriguez, but Premier still trying to get a shot on goal. And eventually there is a handball by Washington Premier there. Samuel Erickson in on the play. Excellent start by the goalkeeper Rodriguez for the Strikers, making numerous saves so far. And of course dealing with the danger there on that cross. Ball is headed on up top to the captain, number 7, Daniel Mendoza. Will play it back to his teammate as the Strikers look to reset. Strikers have 2 captains. The other captain would be number 9, Matias Gutierrez. They're playing at center back for the Strikers as they deal with that throw-in once again by Premier. That will go off of a Premier player for a Strikers goal kick. If you're just joining us, Strikers got up 1-0 early on a great play from the near flank, right here. Initial cross was blocked, but it fell to a Strikers player who knocked it into the back of the net for the early 1-0 lead. Premier have gradually gotten into the match with a couple of great chances, but goalkeeper Andres Rodriguez was up to the task every time so far. Ball eventually falls here to Pryor, who will look to work his way here towards the near flank. Evades one defender. A great sliding tackle here, though, by the Strikers defender, but it is adjudged by the official that it will be a Premier throw-in. Great tackle there by Alejandro Marino of the Strikers. Throw into the box is headed on by a Premier player, but again collected by Rodriguez. Collected here once again by the Strikers in the midfield, trying to gain some possession as has been a little bit difficult since that goal. And it's another turnover by the Strikers to Premier in the midfield. Premier attempting to push up through Coop, but he's eventually met by a couple of Strikers defenders and eventually played all the way back to Premier's end. Long ball looking for Pryor. He heads it on, but collected by the Strikers and eventually played up the field. Moreno once again for the Strikers. Looking for a teammate up top, but collected by Premier. Donovan Allen, the center back there. I believe one of the captains for Washington Premier, making that tackle. He was in the box on that goal. I believe he was the one that deflected the initial cross until it fell to another Strikers player for the opening goal. Got a free kick here for the Strikers as they push players up to the box of Washington Premier. Attempt goes on goal, but is off by a few yards at least, and it'll go out for a Premier goal kick. Beautiful weather so far this morning. It's in the 70s. Good on U.S. Youth Soccer to put some of these games early to beat the heat of this week. Close to 100 degrees here in Kansas, Overland Park, Kansas, last week. There'll be a stream of 3 matches so far on this channel. It's 7 o'clock as this one is going on right now, 9 o'clock and 11. And then the nightcap will feature 2 matches at 6:30 and 8:30. As Premier gain possession of the ball here once again. We'll look to work here down this near flank. Strikers now get it back in possession through Marino as he looks to take on a couple of Premier defenders, but he is eventually sandwiched by a few of them. But once again, the Strikers able to win the ball back. Great through ball in here to Emiliano Sosa. He'll look for teammates here in the box. Crosses in, and a near chance there at goal by the Strikers. It looked to have deflected off of Marino. He was unable to control the shot and put it on net. But another excellent opportunity down this near flank for Coral Estates. Probably their best since the opening goal. This boot up the heel, looking for a Premier League player, but another turnover here in the midfield. That's a great ball there down into the far corner by the Strikers, who look to continue to push here for that second goal. It's another ball played into the box, cleared by Washington. Marino once again collecting here for the Strikers. Was looking for his teammate Casey Perez here on the near flank, but it goes out for a Washington Premier throw-in. Premier with a lot of space here down on the near flank, working through James Del Carmen. Takes on a few defenders, able to find a ball. Great passing here by Premier. Great shot on net, but once again, Rodriguez intervenes. A beautiful passing display here by Washington, working their way between multiple Strikers defenders, but once again, Rodriguez off his line and is able to make the play. Marino once again on the ball for the Strikers. As they turn it over here in midfield, back to Premier. Get the ball outside to Coop. Finding the feet of Pryor. Washington once again on the attack. Through ball back into the box. Once again, it's Rodriguez, who's putting together quite the highlight reel here in the first half. Battle here in the midfield. Once again, it's Marino on the ball. He's been all over the place for the Strikers, looking for his teammate, number 7, who's got the goalie in tatters, but eventually keeper of Washington Premier able to make the save. Daniel Mendoza once again in on goal for the Strikers. But a great play once again, I believe, by Jack Landreth there, the keeper of Washington Premier. His kick is up the field, but the Strikers will be able to collect here. They boot the ball up the field, but it will go out here for a throw-in for Washington Premier. This is number 66, Liam Elliott for Premier, starting things back up. He looks to use his teammate Allen, who gets it over to Coop. Washington opting out here to play amongst the back line, but now they get the ball up towards their attacking players. Strikers recollect here through Lozano, who's been very active here on this near flank, but once again, Premier fight to get the ball back. The ball falls eventually up top to number 3 of Washington Premier. That'd be Logan Oyama, but he skies his shot, and it'll go out for a Coral States goal kick. Game has definitely picked back up after that Estates opening goal. Both teams with really good chances. But Coral States remains up 1-0, thanks in large part to the man in goal, Andres Rodriguez. Pryor once again boxing out his defender and is able to turn here as he looks in on goal. Shrugs off another Strikers defender to get the ball out here wide. Good tussle out here in the box. Crosses in. Pryor is there, but eventually cleared by the Strikers. As it's Lozano here looking to work up the near flank. Able to utilize his outside back there, but Premier once again collects here in the midfield. Premier once again working up this near flank. That's Anthony Valdivino's putting a ball in. It's very close on goal. I believe that was an attempted cross, but almost worked out fair for Premier. But once again, it'll be another Coral Estates goal kick. A lot of good plays so far from both sides. Both offenses really getting into the game. As it is Rodriguez here once again taking the goal kick for the Strikers. The ball is played up towards Mendoza. Good battle there over there with Coop. Eventually won by Allen and Washington Premier. But his ball towards the outside goes out, and it'll be a Strikers throw-in. Very acrobatic kick there by Mendoza to get the ball up the field. Strikers once again earning a throw-in as they continue to push up into the Premier defensive end. Number 4, Jason Wood taking the throw-in for the Strikers. Looking for the head of Marino, but eventually collected by Premier. Turned over towards Mendoza. Looking to get open on the far flank. His cross is taken by Coop of Premier. They will look to work up the field. Pryor loses the ball in possession towards the strikers as Wood finds Marino once again. Marino looking for Lozano in the box, but cleared by Washington Premier. Couple of bodies going down there in the middle of the Washington Premier end, but it's a free kick for Washington, who will look to work here now down this near flank. Great tackle there by Lozano, who will clash here in the midfield. Called by the official is a free kick for Premier. Not sure where the foul occurred, but it is Washington's ball anyways. They work here near, down the near flank. Valdivinos looking to get it in towards the midfield, but taken by Marino, and he's got loads of space here to work. Looking up the field for Lozano, but Washington gets the ball back through Valdivinos. This is Pryor once again. Collect the ball. He looks to go down the near flank, but collected by the strikers and eventually deflected out off of Pryor for a striker's throw-in. Still 1-0 here in the first half. Coral Estate Strikers lead Washington Premier. Time winding down. Both teams again pushing for that next goal. Strikers trying to work their way up here down the near flank as Lozano and Valdivinos battle here. Strikers regain possession as that ball's headed for Mendoza in the box. Dealt with by Washington for the moment. But again, the strikers with that high press continue work. Lozano now on the ball for the strikers. He's looking to get open for a shot. That attempted shot there by number 77, Sebastian Ocampo, goes way high. And Washington able to get a breather for a moment. Great high pressing there by the strikers. They've been doing it the entirety of this first half. It's how they got the opening goal. But Washington, as for the moment right now, able to deal with it as they continue to search for the equalizer. That goal kick taken by Landreth, headed for the midfield. Deflects on through, but once again, Marino of the strikers able to collect. He's able to find Mendoza for the moment, but Premier able to win the ball back as Coop will play it back to Landreth. Landreth's able to find a teammate on the outside as Premier looks to break. Collected there by Ocampo in the midfield for the strikers. As they look to once again get on the attack. Ball in towards Lozano. Dealt with by Premier, but only as far as the middle of their attack. Now it's Allen getting forward here from the defense, but his pass intercepted there by Marino. As Wood there under pressure by a Washington Premier player plays it back towards Rodriguez. That ball will eventually deflect out for a Premier throw-in. Good battles on those sides from either team, but eventually collected by Cartagena and played up. And the official deems a foul took place, and it'll be a free kick for the strikers. Foul was drawn by Mendoza, who's been very active on that far side for Coral Estates as they maintain their 1-0 lead. A free kick collected by Landreth as he plays it back up towards Washington Premier. Allen and Coop working together on that far side. That ball is eventually played up towards Pryor. And it'll deflect out here for a striker's throw-in once again. Wood looking for a teammate. It'll be another throw-in for the strikers. Woods throwing intercepted there by Premier, and eventually a foul was drawn. Washington working it back here through their defenders. Eventually the ball up the field towards Valdivinos. His ball at the outside. Found by a teammate. Excellent opportunity here. He's back in the box. Shot on goal. I believe that was deflected out and over the bar by Rodriguez. But a great shot there by Valdivinos, and he earns the corner for his side. Valdivinos was the one who initially played the ball outside, recollected in the box, and saw his curling effort just tipped over the bar. This is an excellent opportunity for Washington Premier, first corner kick of the match. Ball's played in near post, but eventually cleared. Washington will get another crack at it as this ball's headed toward the back post. Wood wasn't able to find it. Eventually cleared out of the box, but it'll be Allen on the ball for Washington. Cross looking for a teammate in the box, but collected there easily by Rodriguez. He looks to get things going quickly here, as he's able to find Cartagena, who eventually gets the ball out here towards this near flank. Coral State's able to earn their first corner of the match there in the corner. Great work there by number 14, Casey Perez. Both sides trading set-piece opportunities here in the last few minutes as we continue to creep closer towards the halftime whistle. It looks as though it will be Mendoza on the ball for the Strikers. Plenty of options to choose from right now in the box. Mendoza sends it near post, looking for a deflection. Ball still bouncing in and around the box as Valdivinos' attempted clearance is missed. Marino couldn't get on it either, and it's eventually cleared by Washington Premier. Pryor pushing to get a foot on that ball, as it's eventually collected here by Lozano. Good work here in the midfield by number 88, Keegan York of Washington Premier, but the Strikers have it back. As Cartagena playing it back towards his defense. Here's Wood now. He moves it to Ocampo. Intercepted there by Valdivinos. He's looking for Pryor down the near sideline and cleared out there by the Strikers. So we'll have a substitution here by Washington Premier to be number 11, Noah Urbina, coming into the match here in just a moment. Get the number here in a second as to who is coming out. That would be number 14, Cole DiMatteo for Washington. So an early substitution here, as Urbina will move up top for Washington. That long throw in will find Urbina, whose header in towards the box as Wood clears for the Strikers. But only so far as York. He plays the ball outside. So Urbina on the ball once again. His left-footed cross almost finds Valdivinos on the near side, but initially so far cleared by the Strikers. This is Coop finding York, who's back heel, couldn't find a teammate, and now Lozano will attempt to break here for the Strikers. He gets it to Mendoza, who dribbles back and finds some space here in the midfield. Great passing here by the Strikers. utilizing multiple positions and multiple players, but eventually a near turnover here in the midfield, still collected by the Strikers as they find some space out here on the near flank. Another interception there by Valdivinos. He's quickly put under pressure by the Strikers, but he's able to find Pryor. Another great tackle there by the Strikers defender, and he's able to win the ball there here on the near sideline, but couldn't keep things in, and it will be a Washington throw-in. It's one of the captains for the Strikers, number 9, Matias Gutierrez, who's had to deal with Pryor for the entirety of this first half. Here's Pryor once again, surrounded by Strikers. The ball eventually cleared up the field. Gutierrez clears that pass from New York, and it'll go out here for another Washington throw-in. Ball bounces around before Marino fouls Coop. And Washington will look to push numbers up towards the box, looking to convert this set piece opportunity. It'll be York on the ball. Tall midfielder for Washington Premier. Big boot goes in on goal and just clears the crossbar. Looked to be potentially being on net, but Rodriguez was able to see it out. We'll be getting another substitution for Washington Premier in a few moments. As Rodriguez plays his goal kick short to Wood. He looks up top and is able to find a teammate, but eventually great tackle there by Allen, who gets it out to Coop. And now Washington can break. Here's Urbina looking for Pryor. Still able to stay on the ball. He gets it to York. York once again with a lot of space. He gets it out here to the outside. Ball played back in towards Valdivinos. Plays it out here down towards the near corner. A couple of Strikers defending it, and will knock it out here for a throw-in. Good effort there by James Del Carmen here on the near side. It'll be Brendan Pryor coming off here for Washington Premier. He's put in a really good shift here in the first half. But he will catch a breather as number 8, Nabil Emran, coming in for Washington Premier. Coral State Strikers will be making their first change here in a second. It'll be Sebastian Soho, number 3, coming on for number 4, Jason Wood, who has been doing some excellent work there out on the far side in defense. Yeah, it's an important week, important day for all of these clubs here, with numerous amounts of college scouts coming out to watch these teams play. Some of the boys and girls in the older divisions have already committed to some universities, but still want to end their time in the youth soccer system on a high note. Ball is cleared out there by the Strikers. There'll be another corner kick for Washington Premier, as Valdivinos will be on the ball here to take it. Good ball in by Valdivinos, and Allen is the one to get his head on it, the central defender and captain, but he couldn't keep it down. Another excellent opportunity for Washington, but the score remains 1-0. Washington have been able to create a few good opportunities from their set pieces. As that goal kick will go out, and once again, Washington, who's mounting a little bit of pressure here after a couple fresh legs entering the field. looking to get something going before the halftime whistle. Washington maintaining possession there on the far side and able to get some good efforts there by one of their attackers, but the ball eventually goes out for a goal kick. I believe it was number 3, Logan Oyama there, making a little bit of something happen there with beating a couple defenders. Long ball looking for Mendoza. His header able to get it to Lozano as those two work together on a couple passes. Mendoza's looking for some help, and he'll get it here on the near side. So he looks to recollect, but ball will deflect out momentarily for a striker's throw-in. Casey Paris gets the ball back in for the Strikers. Washington get possession back and launch the ball down here this near flank, but it goes out for another striker's throw-in. Both teams have definitely been mixing up action, utilizing both sides of the field, as it is all to play for still here in the first half with only the 1-0 scoreline. This ball is up for grabs here in the midfield. Valdivinos heading it on. Eventually collected by the Strikers, only to be turned over momentarily once again as Cartagena gets it to the outside. Near turnover by the Strikers there in the midfield, but it comes out here towards Lozano. He's covered by a couple of premier defenders. We're able to work it here towards the back line. A short back pass almost intercepted by Mendoza as Marino gets on the ball. He sends the ball into the box, but Langreth is there to intercept before it could reach the Strikers player, who was wide open in the box. And now Washington look to break up the field. Good run here by number 2 of Washington Premier, Samuel Erickson, but eventually turned over here, and now it's Marino of the Strikers. His ball searching for his teammate on the outside, Emiliano Sosa, but goes outside for a throw-in. Now a couple more substitutions for either side, as Washington Premier sending on Aim Kaiser, number 23. And he will be taking off Valdivinos for Washington Premier. Coming on to the match for the Strikers is number 11, Juan Valiente. Looks as though he'll be taking off one of the attacking players. That would be Sosa, who's been very active up top for the Strikers so far in this match. Valiente will take his place up top, and action resumes. Ball's turned over to the Strikers in midfield as Marino makes York miss, and he looks for teammates up ahead. Makes another defender miss for the moment, but eventually his pass intercepted there by Coop. Nice recovery there by the outside defender for Washington. Strikers making another substitution here. Coming into the match will be number 17, Oscar Nzola Schnell, as I believe he will be taking off Alejandro Moreno, who's been doing some excellent work in the midfield in this first half for the Strikers. Just a few seconds ago, making a couple of defenders miss, as both teams look to refresh, put some fresh legs on, as the sun begins to come out here in Overland Park, Kansas. Allen looks to get it up ahead to Erickson, who's taken on a couple of Strikers defenders. He finds a teammate there on the outside. This is Urbina. He is met there by a defender for the Strikers as that ball goes out for a throw, and that would be Soho, who just came onto the field moments ago. Here's York on the ball. He gets it up to Erickson for Washington. Looking to play into teammate as Soho there, trying to steal the ball out. It's eventually fouled by number 3 of Washington. That'd be Logan Oyama. It'll be a free kick here for the Strikers. Washington have been able to utilize their height advantage at different points in the match, but still have not been able to convert any of their chances as of yet, as the Strikers maintain their 1-0 lead. The goal from Sosa in the early stages of the match. That ball goes out of play for another goal kick for the Strikers. As I said at the beginning of the broadcast, both these teams had different paths of reaching the national championships here today. Washington Premier picked up 7 points in their 3 matches in Las Vegas to win the Black Division title of the U.S. Youth Soccer National League, whereas the Coral State Strikers are representatives from the Southern Regional, as they didn't win their final match, but because that team went on to represent the National League here, they became the Southern Regional representatives. Ball goes out of play for Washington. Again, something cool as of note, this tournament is going to produce some otherworldly matches, as teams from Washington and Florida, you're not going to get much farther distance from that across the country. But these two teams here meet today. Another substitution here for the Strikers. It's coming into the game is number 12, Andres Depina. He will be replacing number 6, David Lozano, who's been excellent here on the near flank for Coral Estates. Another attacking option off the bench for the Strikers. Washington work it from that near side as they get the ball out here. Eventually collected back by the Strikers, and that'd be Depina right immediately on the ball. Unable to get past there. York of Washington. Ball's up the field once again to Depina, looking for his teammate here on the near side, Valiente. A couple substitutions trying to link up, but it's a throw in for Washington. Captain Allen working things from the back once again for Premier. Washington using that far side once again. Eventually the Strikers able to clear up towards Mendoza. Crunching challenge there by number 3 of Washington. That'd be Oyama. Goes out for a Strikers throw-in, as Washington looked to pin them back there on the far side. Mendoza tried to work through a couple of Washington defenders on that far side. Referee eventually awarding a free kick that Mendoza is able to win. That was against Urbina from Washington. As time winds down here in the first half as we approach stoppage time. York goes for the sliding challenge, unable to come up with the ball. As they find Mendoza, we have 2 minutes of stoppage time here to end the first half. Bouncing ball in the midfield, still up for grabs, but collected by the Strikers. Great turn there by number 10 of Coral Estates. Cartagena. But now Urbina looks to break for Washington, but the ball played up towards Rodriguez, who looks like we'll see it out for a goal kick. We're slowly approaching the first minute of 2 here in stoppage time, as the Strikers will look to see things out till halftime and take that 1-0 lead with them. But it's possible they could get another before the half. That pass to the outside, intercepted there by Washington as they look to break here down this near flank. Number 23 of Washington, Aim Kaiser, looking to get back on the ball. Here's York from the outside. Wanted the shot, but able to find a teammate up top. As the ball works towards that far side. Cross is deflected out here for a corner right before the halftime whistle. What a lift this would be for Washington Premier to get the equalizer here just before halftime. Del Carmen jogs over towards that far corner as he will be the one taking the free kick. As pretty much all but one field player for Washington is in or around that box. Del Carmen looking for the near post, collected there by Rodriguez. Could have been curling in on net, but Rodriguez will look to take his time, and that'll do it here for the first half. A great display by both teams, but it was Coral Estates who got on the board first early on, and will take that 1-0 lead with them into halftime. We got a 15-minute here break, and we'll be back here with the second half between Washington Premier and the Coral State Strikers.
It was 1935, the year that Elvis and Sandy Koufax were born. It was a year of many firsts, including the first NFL draft, the first Monopoly board game went on sale, Social Security began, and Babe Ruth hit his last home run. In addition to these milestones, the National Junior Challenge Cup was founded in 1935, offering a youth competition for young men in the United States. The cup was later named the James P. McGuire Cup, after the late U.S. soccer president, who himself was quite a standout in his earlier days, winning the U.S. Open Cup in 1929. McGuire would lead U.S. soccer and earn an international reputation as an excellent leader.
The Jim McGuire Cup was started in 1935. It was the only cup that the United States Soccer Federation had for youth players. And it was a very good competition, and I can tell you, I mean, this was the highlight of my soccer career to be a champion in 1954.
This storied cup, now the oldest trophy in youth sport.
It has a history, it has a meaning, I think it has tradition. So I think it's extremely important for our competitions, for all the age groups that kind of emulate the McGuire Cup.
Winning the McGuire Cup is huge, just because all that history that comes along with the oldest trophy in youth sports period. That's really big for us.
Who will write their name in the next chapter of the storied McGuire Cup?
This tournament, it's great competition. I mean, you just have to work. All these teams belong here. All these teams work to get here.
So the competition was fantastic from start to finish, and when you get to play in a facility like this, it makes it even more worthwhile traveling the 6.5 hours to get here.
We sacrificed a lot, time, and like our summer. So I really think that if we keep with that, we'll be on pace for a great time at nationals.
Just an overall great performance. Came out in the second half, was able to close it out and get that regional victory that we wanted.
Benefits of this level are huge. The college exposures, second to none for these guys. They're all able to get recruited and achieve the goals that they want to when they set out to actually sign up to play club sports and make a team. They're able to get those opportunities.
I think having something to play for is a real benefit to these girls, not just showcases, it's competition. Everyone wants to win. You play competitive sports because you want to win.
Well, this is the top league in the country, all the best teams, the best competition, and that's what you want for your kids. You know, you want them to work hard and achieve success against the best, so it should be exciting.
Boy, they were tough. They were a tough team, and they had a lot of speed. And so we weren't ready for that, and they kept fighting and kept fighting and kept fighting. We made a few mistakes in the back, and then they came back and tied it up, you know, with 7-8 minutes left in the game. But it was a battle. They are a very strong, competitive team. It's a sweet victory because they really deserve it. The girls were tired, they were weak, and they dug really deep. They really did. They really fought for it.
Everyone wants it so bad that we all get better from each other. No matter the win or the loss, we all want it. It's the best feeling. I've dreamed about this for a long time. It's so exciting to be here.
Very tough game. We had to go into extra time to decide the champion, and our boys stuck it to the end, and were able to come out with a victory today.
It's just an amazing feeling knowing you scored the winning goal for the team. We worked so hard for this, and we all deserve this.
Regionals is where you find the best state champions come and they give you a run for your money.
I think soccer in a whole creates a family. The bake sales, the car washes, the raising of money, it brings all of us together, and we are one, and on to nationals.
US Youth Soccer has impacted my life by taking over, and I mean, it's been a very good experience. A lot of life skills and lessons and how to take on certain things, and it's really made a big impact on my life.
everybody here was amazing.
We played against some amazing girls, and I just think it was awesome.
It's really great to see my team pull together to really work hard.
Being a regional champion is amazing. It's a once in a lifetime type of opportunity for these guys, for myself.
I'm really excited for these girls with this confidence to go to nationals and just test ourselves against great competition.
We are back here for the second half matchup here in the under-17 boys division between Washington Premier and the Coral Estate Strikers. It's 1-0 here in favor of the Strikers, an early first half goal by Emiliano Sosa. And both sides made changes in that first half and will be looking to press here to win this opening match. As Erickson making a great run there in the midfield, eventually met by a Strikers defender. Another great sliding tackle there by the Strikers, as this second half has really started off with some pace. That attack there dealt with by Premier defender. Ball still in play. Eventually the referee signals for a corner kick, but a great start towards the second half for both sides. Again, like I said, both sides had made numerous amounts of changes in the first half. Not sure if any halftime changes had been made. But the Strikers will be looking to get back on the board here once again. As taking the corner here is number 6, David Lozano, who had come back on here, who I think had been subbed off in the first half, but since come back on. That corner cleared there by Premier, as there's Valdivinos, who's also back on here for the start of the second half. But Lozano on the ball once again, able to make a defender miss. Able to find a teammate here at the top of the box, but Washington able to collect for the moment. Bit helter-skelter here in the midfield. Ball eventually played up here by Washington. As Pryor, who's back into the match as well, able to get in on the ball. Ball up towards the top of the box, eventually played in by the Strikers. Number 12 here looking to find a teammate, as it's number 11 for the Strikers, trying to take on a couple of Washington defenders. Some cries for a penalty shout, but not much by the players, and it's a free kick here by Washington. Great play here at the top of the box so far in the second half by Juan Valiente of the Strikers, number 11. He's been able to combine with Andres Tapina, number 12, both of them coming on in the first half as substitutes. Ball eventually collected in the midfield by the Strikers, but immediately turned over as Washington here. Little bit of space for their outside back to get up the field. Able to make one defender here miss as he trudges towards the center of the box. Looking for through balls. Pryor almost in on net, but the flag has been raised despite the ball being in the back of the net for offsides. Once again, Washington able to work in a couple of close 1-2 touches and almost were in on goal. Rodriguez's goal kick is headed back up the field by Washington. Ball eventually here dealt with by Washington. It goes out of play. But it'll be a free kick here on the touchline here for Washington. As it be Allen, the captain. Washington's going to send numbers up here into the box. A couple of tall targets to aim for, but opts here for a near sideline pass, but it's Lozano intercepting for the Strikers, who will look to break. Long ball up the field till Valiente, intercepted by Allen. Strikers once again back on the ball through Lozano as Matteo, a little bit of a shove in the back there. It's adjudged to be a free kick by the official. Great energy here to start the half by both sides. Again, Coral States remains up 1-0. Plenty of attacking opportunities, though, by both sides. As it's once again here in the box, almost able to find number 12 of Coral States, Dapina. It's Langriff coming off his line to make the save. But the Strikers really pressing here down the middle to start this second half as Langriff's kick able to find a teammate there, number 23 for Washington. It'll be a free kick here by the Strikers, as it looks like number 77 for Coral State, Sebastian Ocampo, will be taking it. Ocampo sends a ball in the box looking for Valiente, cleared initially here by Washington. Shot blocked there in the box, but Coral State still maintains control for the moment. It's Dapina on the far side for Coral State. He falls down. No foul given by the official. It'll end up being a goal kick for Washington. But once again, Coral State's utilizing a set-piece situation to have some good possession and almost make another opportunity out of it, as Washington has been a little bit pegged back here after a good start to the second half. Langriff goes up the field as Washington maintain possession for the moment. Ball bounces around. Eventually it falls to DiMatteo, but he is tackled there by Lozano. Deflects off him and goes out for a throw-in. DiMatteo and Kaiser have been working down this near flank, trying to get something going for Washington. That throw-in falls to Pryor, who's met by a couple of Striker defenders, but he is able to turn and has a little bit of space. He is met there in the middle by the State Striker, but Washington able to get the ball back. Here's Kaiser. Strikers have it again through Dapina. He is met there in the midfield as Valdivinos now on the ball. He's able to find Pryor. They'll have to take on a couple of defenders, able to get through for the moment. Shrug off a few defenders. He's almost in on goal. Brought down from behind, and it'll be a penalty for Washington Premier. Braden Pryor making things happen for Washington, able to shrug off multiple attempts of a tackle by the Coral State Strikers, and the only way they were able to stop him was to bring him down illegally, and an excellent opportunity for Washington to tie up this match. It looks as though it will be number 3, Logan Oyama, stepping up to take this big penalty. Rodriguez has had an impressive day so far for the Strikers. Can he keep him off the board? Shot and into the left corner and in for the equalizer for Washington Premier. Oyama equalizes the game up for Washington, makes the score 1-1. But of course that opportunity was created by Pryor, getting in on goal and being brought down. We have a tie game, though, ladies and gentlemen, an all-new game, thanks to the efforts by Oyama and Pryor. Coral States had built up all of that momentum off of those set pieces, but it was a great individual effort by Pryor to get in on goal. He was brought down in the box, and Oyama is the one to step up and calmly finish into the bottom left corner. And we have a 1-1 game. Strikers looking to get back into their groove. As they look to continue to push up, looking for Valiente. He is able to deflect it towards the near corner for Lozano. Lozano goes up against DiMatteo, who's up to the task for the moment. Is able to get the ball to Allen, who clears it up the field. Strikers maintaining possession here in the midfield as they look to get it out here to Lozano once again. Holds off DiMatteo, but he's able to get the ball out to Erickson. And Washington will look to control things here once again. Long ball towards Pryor. Cleared out there by the captain of Coral Estates, number 9, Mateus Gutierrez, who I believe was the one who brought down Pryor in the box for that penalty. Those two have been battling it out all match. As it'll be DiMatteo here for Washington on the throw-in. It's DiMatteo and Lozano once again, and DiMatteo puts his arms around Lozano, and that'll be a free kick for the Strikers. As Ocampo, another captain for Coral Estates, is on the ball to take it. His long board looking for Valiente. Brought down in the box, but controlled by DePina. Valdivinos misses out there on tackle on number 14 of the Strikers. As that ball will eventually go out for another Strikers throw-in. That was Casey Perez there on the action for Coral Estates. Pryor once again trekking back, maintained possession and earning another foul against himself. Referee has a few words there for the Coral Estates defender. Erickson now on the ball for Washington as he plays it into the box towards Pryor, but it's Rodriguez off his line to see out the danger this time for the Strikers. As he looks to play quickly. Dinatio's ball up to Gutierrez. Intercepted by Gutierrez. He sends a long ball towards Valiente. Looking to head on for DePina, but he will collect it himself. Valiente looks to close down Valdivinos, who sends the ball up the field, but nobody home so far except Casey Perez of the Strikers. That long ball looked for Lozano, but it'll be collected by Langriff, who looks to get it out to DiMatteo quickly. Matteo looking to get it up the field here. Here's Pryor. It's battered by Washington as they get it out towards the far flank. Here's Erickson once again. He gets it to Valdivinos, who put the ball into the box. Hangs up there for a little bit, but collected easily by Rodriguez. No challenge there by any Washington attackers. Valiente now on the ball for Coral Estates. Looking for help from a teammate. He's not going to get it as Valdivinos intercepts, but it'll be a free kick awarded towards the Strikers as Valiente was fouled after that pass. Well, after Washington equalized on that penalty, you would expect maybe for Coral Estates to look to make a few substitutions, and they will be doing so. Coming back onto the field is Alejandro Marino, number 27, and number 10, Gabriel Cartagena. Couple of attacking options, couple of midfield options here for Coral Estates. Coming off of the field, number 15 and number 17 of Coral Estates. Number 17, Oscar Nzola Schnell. And number 15, Ezekiel Kuten. As Ocampo puts this ball into the box, Langriff comes out to punch, misses completely. And it'll be a corner kick there for Coral Estates. A dangerous ball, Langriff unable to get a solid punch onto it. And it'll be Perez and Cartagena going over for this corner kick. They're looking to play it short there, but now it'll just be Cartagena taking it for Coral Estates. Long ball towards the penalty spot. Eventually cleared there by Washington up to Valdivinos. Unable to get past the initial defense. Strong challenge there by Valdivinos. Puts the shoulder in. And it'll at least be a free kick there for Coral Estates as Valdivinos kicks the ball away in frustration. Referee having words with Valdivinos there, but no card at the moment. As Coral Estates will look to take advantage of this set-piece situation. A lot of players on the ball. I see Soho, Perez. I believe Cartagena once again in on this set-piece situation for Coral Estates. I believe two-man wall here for Washington as they look to deal with this dangerous situation. Bit trickery there, left-footed cross into the box, cleared away by Washington, eventually collected there by Langriff, who was under a little bit of pressure from a Coral Estates player. Early action here in the second half. Game is tied 1-1. An early first half goal by Coral Estates from Emiliano Sosa. Equalized here in the second half by a penalty kick by Oyama of Washington Premier. Everything here to play for in the first match by both these clubs here at the U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships. As it's DiMatteo here on the ball for Washington with this throw-in. Looking to get it into the box, able to find Oyama, but his short ball unable to find Erickson, but still Washington have the ball. This is Valdivinos on the far side in the box, taken on by two defenders and is able to be cleared by the strikers. But Washington still keeping things going in their infield. Now it's Oyama once again into the box. Cross is deflected out for the moment. Now it's Pryor. Still on the ball. He gets out to Erickson. Launches a shot towards goal. And it's saved there by Rodriguez. Shot had some power on it, but went towards the center of the goal. Rodriguez able to collect. But now it's Washington who seem to be gaining more momentum in this match. Battle in the midfield here as Allen is able to get the ball out towards Kaiser. He's got some space here on the near flank. Closed down by Lozano. DiMatteo able to get to Pryor, who's checking back. Beats one defender, goes in for a sliding challenge and gets a piece of DePina of the strikers. It'll be a free kick for Coral Estates. Again, the official just having some words with Pryor, but no cards have been issued so far in this match. The strikers pushing some numbers forward, but most of their players here back by the ball, as it's Ocampo once again taking the kick for the strikers. He sends the ball up, cleared away by Washington. DiMatteo able to keep this one in, and he's got some room here on this near flank. Able to beat one defender as he looks for Erickson, intercepted there by the strikers. As now it's Cartagena on the ball. That flick on looking for Valiente, but eventually cleared by Allen. Now it's DePina once again on the ball for Coral Estates. As he goes up against number 66, Liam Elliott of Washington. A throw-in by Coral Estates now, as it's Moreno back into the game on the ball. Cross towards the back, top of the box. As Lozano was the one looking for a foul there, but the referee, seeing his hand on the ball, judged a free kick here for Washington. Langriff's long ball looking for Erickson, falls to Pryor. Good battle there at the top of the box, and he's judged that Pryor was fouled And it'll be a free kick here at the top of the box. Roughly 25 or so yards out for Washington. But it'll be another excellent set-piece opportunity for their side. Pryor, once again, the one drawing the foul. As of right now, the left foot of Valdivinos, the only one on the ball for Washington. As Rodriguez is in net, trying to set up his four-man wall. Valdivinos comes up to strike. He chips it in. Couple Washington players. The ball is loose in the box. It's in the back of the net, but a foul was committed. Some contact between Rodriguez and, I believe, number 5, Connor Prenovos, son of head coach Jason Prenovos, who is down currently at the moment. A harsh collision. Ball was loose, but the referee adjudged a foul had occurred and a missed opportunity. This coach will come on to check on his son. A very big-time collision. A couple of big guys in there on the action. And Connor Prenovos has been pretty active here in the second half, as have many of the Washington attacking players, able to get that equalizer and almost get the second goal here. As the training cart has been pulled out here. For Prenovos to take him off. Difficult situation. Obviously, these players work so hard to get to this stage. At the moment, we hope that he's okay. Action will be about to get back underway here with a free kick for the Strikers. Action back underway as the ball's hit out here to Soho. His long ball looking for Valiente. Header's a little bit misplaced as Di Matteo will look to see this one out for a throw-in. Matteo's throw-in was looking for Pryor, but intercepted by the Strikers' defense as they look to play things up towards Valiente. Ball's eventually settled here by Perez. He looks for DePina down that far sideline. DePina almost able to beat his defender. Ball still remains in the court. Clever back heel there to get it up to Valdivinos. Valdivinos able to find Pryor for the moment, but dealt with by the Strikers. Ocampo plays a long ball towards goal, but it sails over there. Might have been looking for a cross, just put too much on it. And it'll fall out of bounds here for a harmless Washington free goal kick. We're slowly approaching the midway point here of the second half as both sides have a goal. And in this first match, you want to start off this tournament on a high note. So both teams will definitely be looking for that winning goal. As this ball into the box, cleared out by Gutierrez. As Pryor was the one looking to get in on the end of it. As Washington move up the field here for a throw-in. It'll be Del Carmen here on the throw-in for Washington, who's had to have some battles there in that far corner on defense. His long throw, looking for Oyama in the box. The ball is going to fall here. Another tough challenge there on Pryor. Referee is calling for a free kick the other way as the Strikers look to break here quickly. DePina on the ball here for the Strikers. His through ball towards Lozano. Him and Di Matteo, who've been battling all day here, back again in this near corner. Good defense there by Di Matteo, but he's unable to prevent the corner from happening. And Coral States will once again have another excellent attacking opportunity. It'll be Cartagena, I believe, number 10 on the ball here for the Strikers. Plays the ball towards the back post, headed out initially a little bit by Washington. Ball sails back in, cleared off the line there by Allen. Header on goal. Landgraf able to collect. Hearts and throats there for the moment for Washington as that ball was headed on goal with speed, but eventually cleared off the line. I believe that was Allen, the captain, in the net for Washington. A great opportunity. The score remains 1-1. Strikers look to continue to build momentum off of that excellent opportunities. Cartagena able to get the ball to Lozano. Lozano gets the ball back here to number 24, Mikel Riquez, sending the ball up the field to Soho, but his attempted cross unable to get control of it, and it'll fall out for a Washington goal kick. Substitution here for Washington Premier, number 12 coming back into the game, Alexander Koop. And he will be replacing number 23, Aim Kaiser. Looks like Koop will be a little bit more forward here than he was in the first half as DiMatteo remains in the game at right back for Washington. Good battle there between Allen and Valiente as this ball now fills to Oyama. He gets it out to the far side for Valavinos. Beats his initial defender but can't control the ball as it's Marino in on the tackle, but no foul called. And Washington get the ball back. It's Erickson getting it to Pryor. Erickson back on the ball now, in on goal. And it's Rodriguez sliding in off his line to collect the ball. Action definitely picking up over the last few minutes as Marino collects it in the midfield, gets it to DePina. Looks like a numbers advantage for Coral States as DePina puts the moves on Prenevos, who's back into the match. Washington able to collect, and here's Koop here. Closed down, but able to find Pryor. Pryor finds an open Valavinos on the far side. Valavinos long ball looking for Erickson, collected by Pryor for the moment, but eventually headed away towards Cartagena. Marino on the ball, gets it out here towards his left back, Soho, and he recollects. Good passing here by Coral States as that long ball out to the far side, able to find Perez. Perez looking to get a cross in, but unable to control the ball, and it falls out here for a Washington goal kick. Again, for those wondering, Connor Prenevos back into the match after that short spell on the bench due to injury. And now the Strikers look to break here through Cartagena. He's got some space out here, but nobody closes him down. He still turns the ball over. Now it's Erickson for Washington. Pryor and Erickson working together once again as Erickson beats a couple of defenders and gets the ball outside, but he turns it over towards Soho, who gives it right back to Prenevos. Valdivinos checks his options here on the far side. Dealt with by Perez for the moment. The ball falls out here, and the Strikers do indeed win a throw-in. It's Del Carmen on the throw-in for Washington, gets the ball out to Prenevos, but immediately turned over. Now here's Marino for the Strikers. Good challenge there by Oyama once again, but the referee there, from his angle, judged it to be a free kick and a foul, and the Strikers will once again push numbers forward. Sun beginning to come out a lot more. The temperature's definitely rising. Both teams will obviously be checking on the fitness of their players in this heat. But so far, still good energy here in the second half, all to play for, with the score being 1-1. Gutierrez steps up there for the Strikers. His ball. Couple challenges here in the midfield. Pryor eventually jumps in versus a couple of defenders for the Strikers, and he collects the ball. Here's Coop looking for Pryor once again. He's able to collect, and he's going to try to put it on the afterburners. And he's there on the near sideline, a foul by number 24 of the Strikers. That would be Mikel Riquez, and he will get the first yellow card of the match. Pryor was able to get past him, push the ball up towards the field, and Riquez only able to bring him down. And it'll be a free kick here from this near sideline as Valdivinos in his left foot will be back on the ball for Washington. They've been able to create some dangerous opportunities. An offsides and a foul called, but both times the ball had reached the back of the net. And they will be looking to convert a legal goal here this time. Valdivinos' ball headed towards the back post, header on goal, but it sails just over there. It's the captain and central defender, Allen, with another opportunity for Washington. Washington's going to be making a couple subs here. Right now, it looks like it'll be a couple of offensive substitutions, as it'll be Pryor and Erickson, or excuse me, Prenovost and Erickson coming off of the pitch. And it'll be Urbina and number 88, Keegan York, coming back on the field for Washington. Both players played early on in the first half. Of course, Erickson and Prenovost have been very active here in the second half, earning that equalizer. Gutierrez's header finds Ocampa in the midfield, and the ball falls to Cartagena as the Strikers look to break. It's Valiente on the ball. He's able to find DePina for the moment. DePina's going to look at the outside. He's going to go for goal. Shot right at Langriff, able to collect there for Washington. His quick throw out towards Valdivinos. Valdivinos once again looking for Pryor up top. Able to hold it on the possession, get it to Urbina. Momentary turnover by Washington as they are able to recollect the ball, and this will be York. York finds Valdivinos open there in the midfield, and he's able to find Coop. Good movement there by Washington as Coop's shot flashes towards goal, but just to the right and a little bit high. But again, Washington able to string a couple passes together and present an excellent attacking opportunity as they have really been able to get back into this match with both sides pressing for this late goal, hoping it'll be the winner here in their first match of group play here at the U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships here at the Skills Soccer Complex in Overland Park, Kansas. A beautiful day so far. This is the first match of the day in the under-17 boys region. As this ball heads towards DiMatteo, able to collect and play it back towards Langriff. He had to play it a little bit quick as Valiente was almost on him. As it'll be Oyama for Washington, battling with Ocampa for the Strikers. This is York getting the ball back for Washington as he finds Pryor just towards his left. Valdivinos looking for Pryor once again, but collected there by pairs of the Strikers. His ball deflects out of play for a throw-in. Moreno able to get to Pina on the far side of the field as he looks to take on defender for Washington, as that ball will go out safely for a Washington goal kick. But a good battle on that far side between DePina and number 7 of Washington Premier, James Del Carmen. Langriff's wrong ball. Initially headed there by York. Good battle here in the midfield, and it'll be York to bring it down for Washington. Excellent turn there by Coop, and he's got a little bit of space to work with. Going to take out a couple of defenders here. Maintain possession for the moment. Able to get it back to Oyama. His cross into the box. Loose there in the box. Pryor's puts it in on net. But his effort just didn't have enough power on it, and it'll be Rodriguez collecting once again for the Strikers, who have been under siege here for the past few minutes here in the second half. Moreno getting the ball once again, and he'll get it to Cartagena. Soho, the left back, now on the ball. He'll find Valiente, the big central striker, but he turns the ball over to DiMatteo. Here comes Oyana with two defenders closing him down. He's going to put some speed on looking for options there in the box. He's got Pryor streaking in. Sends the ball towards the back post. Nobody home, but Valdivinos there on the far side to recollect. He puts a cross in the box over Rodriguez's head, still loose in the box, but Rodriguez will be the one to collect it. Again, more tense moments for the defense of the Strikers. Washington obviously continuing to build off of the momentum of the equalizer in the second half. That penalty kick scored by Oyama. But Coral State still have plenty of dangerous players, and here's one of them in Marino. Good tackle there by Allen, but still Valiente has the ball. Here's Ocampo looking for Lozano, but sails over his head for a throw-in by Washington. As I'm sure you can see here on the sideline, a couple of other teams warming up for the next match, which will start at 9 a.m. So we'll be having matches at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Afternoon break here today, and then we'll be back with a couple games at the nightcap for you here on day one of the national championships for U.S. Youth Soccer. Cartagena of the Strikers back on the ball, and he finds Marino in the midfield. Coral State's looking to push. It'll be Marino who puts a shot in towards goal, but collected pretty easily there by Langworth. Ball is eventually going to find Coral States as they send it up the field, but it's going to be collected by York, or attempted to. Goes off his knee, and now it's Valiente on the ball for the Strikers. He looks for DePina. His one-time flick, trying to find Lozano, but collected there on the outside by Washington. It's Del Carmen now on the ball as he looks to get it to the outside for Urbina. Del Carmen up the field to Valdivinos, but it'll be Ocampo getting in on the action. He comes up a little gimpy. Play goes on. It's Urbina now with some space. He looks to the outside for Coop. He's able to get the ball to him. Coop sticks ahead and still maintains it. Left-footed shot. Flashes away and goes out of bounds for a throw-in. But once again, Coop was in the box with an opportunity to shoot on net. As Coral State's defense has really been struggling over the last few minutes, and they may be making an adjustment here to help combat that. As number 7 will be coming in here shortly for Coral States. That would be number 7, Daniel Mendoza, who was very active in that first half. Plenty of offensive opportunities. He is taking off a fellow captain in Ocampo. Ocampo really having a good half there in the defensive part of the midfield. As the Strikers look to resume play through his throw-in. Immediately turned over as Valdivinos gets to Pryor initially, but now it would be Cartagena back on the ball for Coral Estates. And now they'll look to break here through Lozano. But York is there to meet him immediately. This is a good battle here in the midfield. Urbina now on the ball for Washington. York here with space for Washington. He gets it to the outside as he looks for Del Carmen. Del Carmen now able to get it to Oyama, who finds Urbina. Great one-touch passing here by Washington. Plenty of fancy flicks. And the referee looks towards the sideline to see that the offsides flag has been raised. But once again, another pretty offensive flare of passing by Washington that almost was able to get Pryor in on net. And they have Coral State's defense looking every which way at the moment to see who could be in on goal for Washington, as the States will look to calm things down here. Long ball up towards Valivente, intercepted there by Allen. It's Coop getting the ball here towards Urbina, who will switch fields over to Valdivinos. Valdivinos looks to send one up top towards Pryor, but it's intercepted there by the defense of the Strikers. As they will look to calm things down here and put together some passes, get back into this game. It's Marino there on the far side, looking to get it to DePina, who's in on goal at the moment. His cross looking inside for Mendoza, but intercepted there by Washington. Soho meets Coop there and able to win the ball. This is Cartagena now, number 10 for the Strikers. Looking to use Valiente, but once again, Coop and York in on the tackle for Washington, who will look to push. 3-on-3 situation right now as Oyamba looks to go up against Gutierrez. Oyama able to beat Gutierrez for the moment, looking for Pryor in the box. 2 defenders on him, still Pryor in the box. Tries to get open, shoots, and scores! It's a goal for Washington Premier. Braden Pryor, who's been one of the best attacking options all match for Washington, gets his goal and puts Washington Premier up 2-1 for the first time in this match. Well, you could say it's been coming for Pryor. He's been in and around goal all game. He is able to draw the foul that resulted in that penalty. And now he gets his first goal of the tournament. And it's an important one as it puts Washington up by a goal. An immediate substitution here by Coral Estates as Soho, the left back, coming off of the field. And he will be replaced there by number 81, Lucas Levine. But Coral Estates, who had been leading the match for most of for the entirety of the first half and most of the second, have now conceded 2 goals here in this half. Defender Jason Wood also coming back into the match for Coral Estates. Not sure who he came on for. But again, immediate substitutions as the Strikers now playing from behind and will be searching for the equalizer. But here comes Washington once again. This is Coop switching fields now towards Oyama. Valdivinos once again, a crunching tackle there by Perez. The illegal one as Valdivinos there stays down. You could sense a little bit of frustration in that tackle from Perez, but they're able to get the ball. As Washington will also be making a change here momentarily. Could be for Valdivinos. Looked like they were going to be subbing on number 17, Dylan Corum. And he will be coming into the match for the goal scorer in Braden Pryor. Valdivinos looks to be okay because he'll be on the ball for the moment with this throw-in. Valdivinos and Oyama on that far side. Valdivinos able to get inside of his defender. Looking to get into the box, but dealt with there by the Coral Estates defense. They cannot seem to get any possession at the moment right now up top as Washington comes back here with another offensive attack. This is Coop, who's now switched sides to that far side, looking for Urbina. Urbina able to win a throw-in after battling with a couple of defenders on that far side. Again, if you're just joining us, Washington Premier has just taken the lead 2-1 on a goal from Braden Pryor, who was also able to win his side a penalty kick here in the second half, which was converted by Oyama, number 3 of Washington. And they have completely flipped this game on its side and have dominated here in the last few minutes of the second half. It'll be another throw-in for Washington. The referee here on the near side is put up the offsides flag. It'll be a free kick here by Coral Estates, who are looking to get anything going right now, trying to search for an equalizer. It's DePina on the ball here for the Strikers. He looks to get it up top to Valiente. His header stopped there by Elliott. Now it's Urbina on the ball for Washington. Urbina, Coop, and Oyama working together there in a triangle on the far side for Washington. They're eventually going to turn the ball over here for a moment. But it is York there in the midfield that's able to shepherd the ball out for a throw-in. Looks though it's going to be a free kick here for Coral Estates. A foul occurred before the ball went out of play, but a substitution here for the Strikers. As it'll be number 8 coming back into the match, Emiliano Sosa, the goal scorer. As he comes onto the field, and he'll be placing Casey Perez, who's been very active on that far side for Coral Estates. It's Cartagena playing the ball into the box for the Strikers. It's up. Ball's bouncing around. Players down. Shot faced on goal, and it's a goal. The ball is into the back of the net. And it's Daniel Mendoza who is there at the back post and is able to head it in after a crazy occurrence of events there in the box. Multiple players down, but the ball was eventually flicked towards the back post, and it's Mendoza waiting there all by himself and is able to put it into the back of the net. It's now a 2-2 game as Coral Estates have been able to climb back here in the second half. An excellent ball by Cartagena caused some panic amongst the Washington defense. Again, someone was able to flick that ball towards the back post after the ball was bouncing around, and it was Mendoza waiting there at the back post by himself, able to convert that chance for Coral Estates. A thrilling half so far, 3 goals. 2 for Washington Premier, 1 for Coral Estates, and what it leads to is a 2-2 game. Once again, as we have gotten into the second part of the second half here of this under-17 boys matchup. A couple of Washington players are a little bit banged up after that sequence. There was at least one player down in that panic in the box, but no foul called, no offsides called, and what we have now is a 2-2 game. It's the result of that play. Washington are going to make a sub as Dylan Corum here, who looks a little bit shaken up here, holding his head, and he will be replaced by number 21, Dominic Borromeo. As Washington's momentum there stopped by the Strikers. And they will look to get back on the scoreboard here in the next moments, as they will get a throw in here. It's still Carmen on the ball for Washington. We've made it here to the end of the second half. It's going to be 4 minutes of added time. Still time for someone to get that winning goal, as Washington are playing out here through Del Carmen. Time flies when there's a good match of football going on, and we've got a good one here. Both these sides have really laid it all on the line. Multiple goals for each team, some great shots, some great individual performances, but still all to play for in the waning moments of this match. Looks like Washington will be setting up here for a long throw-in. This ball heads towards the near post, headed out there by the Strikers. That'd be number 11, Juan Valiente, a striker coming back to help out his defense. And it's going to be a corner here for Washington, an important moment in this match. It's number 14, Cole DiMatteo, on the ball here for Premier. This ball going towards the middle of the box there. Heads go up, ball still in the box as Marino at least gets it out for the moment for the Strikers. It's Mendoza here on the ball, battling Del Carmen. Marino able to find Mendoza for a back heel. Nice play there as the Strikers move forward. It's Cartagena on the ball as he looks to play in Mendoza. He's going up against a couple of defenders. Washington gets it out of the box, but still in the Strikers' possession. Marino on the ball, tries to chip, but it's deflected, but he recollects. Ball still on this near side. It's Mendoza once again for the Strikers. Able to get it to the top of the box here to number 8, Emiliano Sosa. And that's Wood now playing the ball into the box, cleared there by Allen. Fast and furious action here to end this match. It's Valdivinos on the ball here for Washington. He's looking to beat Marino. Tries to find Coop there in the middle of the field. Great sliding tackle there by Sosa. Wood on the far side looking for Valiente up top, but it's York who will look to challenge him here on defense. Elliott looks to play the ball far, only as far as Sosa of the Strikers. As the ball is finally there brought down by York, and Washington will now look to move up the field. It's Oyama for Washington, the penalty kick scorer earlier on in the second half. Ball collected by DiMatteo. Tough challenge there in the middle of the field to break up play. It'll be Cartagena who goes into the book for the Strikers, the second yellow card of the match for Coral Estates. A quick free kick played, but a little too quick for the official as it will be brought back. Again, time winding down here in stoppage time, 4 added minutes. A 2-2 match. Both these teams pressing for a late game winning goal, what it would be to start the tournament off for either side with a late stoppage time winner. That is what Washington will be looking to do on this free kick. It's Valdivinos once again on the ball for Washington Premier. This ball goes a little short at the top of the box. Cries of handball, but nothing doing from the official. The ball is back in towards York, but it'll be Rodriguez to clear it up the field as his ball able to find Mendoza. Mendoza attempted to put DePina in on goal, but wasn't able to do so. And that'll do it here. The full-time whistle has gone. An exciting opening match in this under-17 boys region between Washington Premier and Coral Estate Strikers. Teams have represented themselves in their states well, and the match ends 2-2 with a thrilling 3-goal second half. Plenty of action to dissect. Both these teams will move on to their next group stage game. But an excellent start off here towards the tournament here at the U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships. Second match coming up at the top of the hour. We'll look to be right back here to call the action here with you. Thank you so much, and congratulations to both sides on their 2-2 draw between Washington Premier and Coral Estate Strikers.